Hello, my name's Tony, and I'm the host of God Chat with God and Tony. On this podcast, I chat to God, the creator of the universe. Each episode, God and I discuss important matters. In God Broth, God shares some of his cooking tips. We also find out what's in God's will when he finally dies, in God's will. You also get a chance to ask the Lord a question in AGA, or ask God anything. If I'm being honest, it's not very good, but it may make you smile.
Oh, it's not that bad, Tony.
Shut up, God, I'm talking now. It's my podcast.
All right, Tony, don't get your knickers in a twist.
Anyway, if you're in the market for an awful podcast with me talking to God for 20 minutes each episode, then Google God Chat with God and Tony. Thanks then.
Hi, I'm Ron Moorhead, and you're listening to the Paranormal Zone.
Look, I know the supernatural is something that isn't supposed to happen. It does happen. A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Hey there, ponderers of the paranormal. You have found the Paranormally Zone, your place for all things, you guessed it, paranormal, strange, and mysterious. My name is Patrick Koffenberger, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the ghosts, the paranormal poster boy himself, the belching wonder boy, Mr. Michael Carbno.
The belching wonder boy?
Yeah, why not? That fit for tonight, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We do have a fun outtake.
Yeah, you have to, don't let me forget that, Mike. Yeah, we were doing the sound check before we started recording, and well, without giving too much away, there was like an accidental expulsion of gaseous air from Mr. Mike. That just it came across hilarious. I was like, you know what? I'm saving that damn thing.
Yes,
so.
it was actually from the less rude part of the body, but still it was fun.
Yes. It was from the mouth. Yeah, we're not talking about the other thing down there. No.
It was not gaseous.
No, hey, very good, Mike. That was very good. Ashes and gaseous. All right. Well, it is good to see you, though. Knock on wood, Zoom seems to be working right now. I probably cursed everything by saying that.
Well, I have a fine formica or laminate here that I could knock on, but...
Oh, well, damn it. Why don't you? Yeah, I guess I'm not... Well, right here. You can hear this in the distance, listeners. There we go. There's some knocking on some wood right there. I don't know if you picked that up at all, but trust me, there was. So my dogs look at me like, what the hell are you doing, man? But yeah, we've been having wonderful connection issues yet again. Surprise. Hey, you know what? Any techno whizzes out there have any suggestions for video conference software? I mean, we've been enjoying Zoom. It's been working fantastic for us, but man, we've encountered a lot of problems lately. And of course, well, everyone knows that we have to pay for it now, unless you want to if you want something more than 40 minutes, you got to pay. Of course, that's how it is. But yeah, send us some suggestions. And we're looking for some ideas because this is getting kind of irritating and frustrating. But
if not, we shall pay.
Yes, that's just how it is, too. I know. We'll figure something out because, we have some great guest interviews lined up for the summer, and we do not want to be limited to that 35 minutes anymore.
Yeah, we've already had a couple of really good guests on that... it's like, well, we're going to have to wrap it up. And I swear I saw some of their faces go, what?
Yeah, it's like, really?
You just got on.
It's like,
well,
so soon.
I know.
So soon. My goodness. Yeah. There are good aspects about having a good, nice, short, succinct chat, 30 minutes or so. You get a lot of info in there, jam-packed in 30 minutes. But there's also a lot of stuff. You and I, Mike, personally feel like we're missing out on a lot of opportunity to learn a lot more,
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
We'll see. We shall see. But hey, again, it is good to see you, Mike. Knock on wood for the 476th time that this actually works, my friend. How are you doing? Anything new in your life? Anything ghostly? Anything paranormal, or just back problems?
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Nothing ghostly. Well, yeah, the back thing. It's I'll be going back to work soon. I was supposed to go back this past Monday, but I have assignments that I needed to finish before they'd let me see patients again.
Did you feel like you're back in high school doing homework?
Yeah, it's like I got all these videos I got to watch and take little tests on them. It's something we do, keep proficient and learned at what we do. And I was like 2 years behind.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm working on a little over a week of getting caught up on those. So
you'll do just fine, man.
Prolonging my time at home without a decent paycheck.
Oh, yeah. You can hear the frustration in your voice, but man, it's getting there. You're getting closer.
Yeah,
you're getting closer, and you're going to hit that. You're going to hit that proverbial ground running, aren't you?
No.
Or walking with a cane.
Well, I will be hitting the ground with restrictions.
Yeah.
But for a month, and then we'll see what happens after that.
I gotcha.
So, what about you? What's your physicality up to nowadays?
My physicality, about 5'7" still. Not nothing really bad. Just the usual. Just the usual crap I've been suffering from since my early 30s, with the arthritis and all that good stuff. And yes, I have arthritis in my crippled witch-shaped fingers,
Yeah, yeah.
And that's not going to go away, obviously. But
it's your fingers look like somebody took a pair of pliers after them.
I know they look bad sometimes. They really, really do. And
I don't know how you do the artwork that you do with that shit.
Well, they're kind of like forming around the pencil. It's almost turning into like a grip.
Yeah.
I'm showing Mike my fingers right now. It's like,
in a clawed fashion.
Yeah.
It won't be too long, and you'll be doing all your artwork that with a pen hooked up to some kind of a stick that you'll be holding in your mouth.
That's what I was going to say. I'll be drawing with my mouth. Yeah, exactly. Or my left foot. Have you ever seen that, by the way? That's an interesting.
There are artists that are absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
That's how they have to do it, or with their feet, and unbelievable.
That's why I brought up the movie My Left Foot with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
That's based on a true story. It's
and in Patrick's life, he would have a movie called My Left Nut.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be that talented, but we shall see. We shall see. And of course, Mike's talking about pecans and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The one that's on the left of my computer right now. Even though I hate pecans, I can't stand them. But
you have a pen that's duct taped to your left testicle.
Okay, I tried to save you. I tried to walk back, Mike. But then you get even more specific. There isn't anything. Well, I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to.
Somebody walks in the room while Patrick's drawing, and Patrick's back is to them, and they think he's really got some kind of groove move down, and he's dancing or something.
No. See, you're going too far.
But no, he's actually drawing.
You're going too far. I think you're drinking some loaded Diet Coke right there, Mike.
Oh no.
Okay. Well,
it's kind of warm and flat. But.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it too. See, now I lost my train of thought already. But that's what I was going to say. Let's get the quick plug out of the way, because if you are new to the show, thank you for checking us out. We do focus on all things paranormal, strange, and mysterious, with a dose of humor thrown in, if you couldn't figure that out already. We hope you stick around and give us a shot.
Not that what I just went through was funny, but it was. It had to be said.
Yeah, he tries. We try. But if you
fail often.
If you're a longtime listener, and you love the podcast, again, it's a necessary evil, but we got to promote the Patreon page, man. That thing is just growing by leaps and bounds, and we're having a blast with it. We just had one of our favorite episodes recorded. It was pretty
interesting.
I personally loved that conversation we had. I shouldn't say we had it. We recorded one of our favorite episodes. A conversation with a ghost, and it just went. I'm going to leave it at that. It went really well. It was really unique. We've had some positive feedback, and we might we might do that again. You know, it was really, really cool. That was Patreon exclusive episode number 46. And we have over damn near 250, over 240, darn near 250 exclusive posts there, video and audio exclusives from our own personal ghost hunting, ghost investing, ghost investigating. And, you know, you see Mike and I run around in cemeteries and cool locations like Standing.
Or freezing on a burial mound.
It's freezing on a burial mound at Standing Rock. I mean, any number of things. And we have so many plans to come, so many places to visit. We're going to go back to that haunted school. We're going to hopefully capture some more audio from that damn place. That was fantastic. But I have to mention this before I forget. Right now, limited time only. If you sign up for Patreon, you can sign up for $1, $3, or $5. Go check out the tiers and everything that you everything that is available to you per tier. If you sign up as a $5 Patreon for just 1 month, one payment of $5, you have a choice of your own from my prints, my artwork prints on there. Yes, I will send you a print for a mere $5 because I'm counting on you enjoying our Patreon page so much that you're going to stick around for a little while at least. But we'd love to see you there. And we're working on our own artwork again right now to add to the Patreon page perks. Mike right now is working on that Annalise McKell drawing that is, well, we talked about it a bit on the Patreon episode, and I believe we mentioned it on the Annalise episode as well, Mike. But what you show me so far looks fantastic, and it's going to be moving for you.
It already is. Yeah,
it already is. I can see it in your face.
Intriguing.
Yeah. So done. We got the Patreon plug out of there. I just wanted to get it in before I forgot. Okay, Mike. Whew, I'm sweating. That's hard work getting those necessary plugs in there. It is. Let's set this up. One of our most popular episodes since we switched from the Alternate Route podcast and rebranded ourselves as the Paranormally Zone back in November of 2021, 7 months ago. Actually, I shouldn't say one of them. It is our most downloaded episode, The Ghost Perspective, it was. And that was back in January. And I wanted to kind of dive into that idea again with a different twist. This is The Ghost Perspective Part 2, entitled The Ghost Agenda. Now, what the hell do we mean by the Ghost Agenda, you may be asking? Well, Mike and I don't even know. But, no, that's not true. We do know. This is going to be a great conversation. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to us getting into that weird and wacky mind of Mike's over there. Oh, he's taking notes. He's writing stuff down. He looks just serious right now. No? Not so much?
I kind of put on airs once in a while, like looking like I put on airs.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to look all professional and cool. Yeah. I get you.
I try to make Patrick think that he said something important that, dang, I got to write that down.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, yeah, yes. The illusion is gone. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'll never think I'm important ever again, thanks to Mike.
Well.
Anyways, whatever. I'm done. Shut up, Mike. Whatever. you know it's getting bad when I even get antagonized and mocked by Computer Mike, right?
Yeah,
I know. God damn it. No, now he's quiet. Yeah. Shut up.
No.
He's out of control. Stop it. All right, are we done? No.
No.
Oh, yeah, perfect. By the way, yeah. Oh, see.
Anyway,
timing is perfect. Holy cow! I'm on top of my game tonight. Oh, hey, you know what? Quick shout out to a guy that we haven't heard from a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Go check out Twitter at official Bruner, Bruner. If I'm not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. But man, that was really great to hear from you again. It'd been a while. I believe he is a member of the armed services, and he claims that listening to the Paranormally Zone has helped him get through his evenings and his nights, and I think that's awesome. We haven't heard from him for a long time, so
and he is a Long-time listener.
He is a long-time listener. There you go. Ding,
He
ding,
gets
ding.
a dingy bell.
He does get a dingy bell. So we appreciate you very, very much, sir.
Absolutely.
For all you do and for listening. We hope you enjoy and continue to enjoy. Well, Mike, when I first sent you the idea or the word, the title, the phrase, whatever the hell you want to call it, the ghost agenda, did anything pop into your brain at all? Or did you just kind of go like, oh, what the hell's Patrick talking about now?
Well, I was trying to remember when we did that and when we had covered it, and I was drawing blanks.
Oh, as far as the
figure
ghost,
it out.
as far as the ghost perspective goes. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. But the ghost agenda,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah. What agenda might a ghost have? You know, what does the dead have on their mind that they need to take care of, or what they do, what their plans are, how they deal with things?
I know it's so weird when you think about, when you phrase them in, well, quite frankly, human terminology. You know, what do they plan? You know, you don't think about
human living terminology.
You don't think about ghosts as having a plan.
Yeah,
you know,
a thought process.
A thought process. Yeah, you know, and I really wanted to kind of scratch our proverbial minds tonight, to tickle our paranormal brains a wee bit and see what we could come up with. Because again, that conversation with the ghost episode, believe it or not, we got pretty damn philosophical on that one, and it was our brains felt a wee bit mushy afterwards.
Yeah, there wasn't enough Tylenol to take care of that headache afterwards.
Yeah, and we did it all for you, listeners, patron, pals. Yeah, no, it was a great conversation. I'm hoping we can do the same here tonight. You know, I showed you some of the notes, or I read some of the notes to you, Mike, that I jotted down.
Right.
Because I started thinking of, you know, in order to get kind of a basis of what an agenda from the paranormal may be, I wanted to start thinking of like personality traits. You know, if you choose to believe that spirits / ghosts are the next version of us, essentially, after we pass away, as you've said 1,000 times, Mike, well, why would they be any different than us? They'd be enlightened versions of us. Hopefully enlightened versions of us.
Hopefully, yeah.
But they would still, you would think, have these personality traits. I wrote down prankster. That's the first thing that popped in my brain. Not necessarily
poltergeist.
Not necessarily poltergeist, because poltergeists, you know, as we've talked about a lot, maybe perhaps that phenomena is created by us.
Right. That could be an entirely different thing.
Man, Mike has yawned 3 times now. That is, you know, I'm telling you, I've known Mike for a long time. That's a sign that his brain is on fire and he's ready to go. He is so excited that he yawns. And just don't yawn into the mic, okay?
No.
Yeah. Oh, what was that, Igor? What? You don't want him to?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't either. I just every now and then I need to try to startle Mike with this one. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I have that one too. Christopher Walken, what can we do to prevent Mike from yawning the rest of the show?
I don't know.
Oh, screw you then. A lot of help you are. I wrote down intimidator, messenger, and then when you and I started talking, the first one that popped into your brain was anger or / angry.
Sure. You know, it could be anger that's carried over from the lifetime, or could be anger that from dying, or the way that person died, or not being ready, and they're just not happy.
That's the key part, I think, for me personally, not being ready, you know, and it's,
right,
or being taken away from their loved ones, or they feel like they've been taken away. Then you also said sad / emotional. And Mike, also, you said lonely. I mean, a lot of these negative things popped into your brain. Anger, sad, lonely. But then you said earthbound. Now we'll dive into that exactly. We'll try to dive into that. Remember to dive into that. But I wanted to ask you, could you briefly describe what you mean by earthbound when that popped into your brain? Can you do that, or do you need to like think about it for a second?
Can you do that, or are you
are you in
kind of an idiot?
Are you in mid yawn so you can't think? You know.
Well, earthbound. I mean, you pass away with. Maybe you're right in the middle of doing something that was so extremely important, and you didn't get to finish it, or you can't leave until you get that message to a loved one, or let somebody know that you're doing okay, you're fine, that you still exist. It's just not physical,
So as far as like
stuck.
earthbound, that's okay. That's what I was getting to. I wanted to hear that word stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Emotionally not ready.
There's yawn number 5. What the hell is
dang.
going on? And apparently Macy is dragging her bone across your floor again or something. Man, we're professional. It's awesome. A lot of times how professional we are.
Yeah.
Then you also mentioned need to make contact. Yeah, that's a definite one for sure.
Sure.
But other notes that I wrote down, Mike, because I do have some stuff I wanted to share. I wrote down spirit versus ghost. And by that, I mean the difference between a spirit and a ghost. There are a lot of different theories about that.
Sure.
So, may I share something with you briefly, Mike, to kind of get us?
I would love to hear it.
Kind of get us rolling. Yeah, he wants to hear it so he can yawn more. I'm gonna give you a hard time.
It's your voice. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, that was a good one. You got me. It's my voice. Man alive, Mike's just freaking on top of things tonight. I tell you right now. So now I have to waste time and try and find the article again because that's how again we're professionals here. We're on top of our game at all times. At all times, we're on top of our game. And we do not have dogs in the background, and we don't have connection problems.
Yeah, she's running a bone shard across the hardwood floor.
Good Lord. Yeah, because I found this article here. This is www.eomega.org. And the article was, what does a spirit do all day on the other side? I thought that was an interesting...
They spirit.
That's what they do. They spirit.
They do spirit things.
Now, this is an interview with, and these are answers from psychic medium Tony Stockwell. I don't know if I'm familiar with Tony Stockwell or not. So if he's a psychopath, I apologize for quoting him right now. But I like some of these answers. And the first question was, how do spirits differ from ghosts? Now, this is Tony's answer. And I won't try and pretend to be Tony and put in some weird voice, okay? But he goes on, I'll try and skip as much as I can. The spirit is somebody. Now, I want you to listen hard, Mike, and I want to see what you think about this.
Okay.
The spirit is somebody who has lived a life, passed before us, and is drawn back to the world, often by a reciprocal love pull. His example. Daughter has lost a mother. But communication is still possible because mom still loves her daughter and vice versa. So there's a need from both sides. Ghosts, he says, are invariably memories and atmospheres trapped in a space. His example, people talk about going to a very old space, such as a castle or an old house. And if they're sensitive, they are aware of maybe a man standing on the stairs. That's his example. And he says, I thought for a long time that the man must get bored standing on that same step for hundreds of years. But what it actually is an extreme emotion that was expressed at some point. The man may have been incredibly excited, incredibly sad, or incredibly happy. And that atmosphere ultimately, in a sense, becomes stained as a stained space, and that emotion is now held there in space and time. And if you're sensitive, you can go into those spaces, and it's like a play being repeated time and time again. So
they're kind of mixing
that?
in a ghost with a residual.
That definitely sounds residual to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but
it's almost
I
like
couldn't ima-
labeling all ghosts as residual.
Right. Yeah. And that's not right. In my opinion, that's not right. And then this idea of when you die, you become an emotional stain.
Well,
It's like,
well, I guess not when you die, but I guess the way that I interpreted that was, and I'm sure I emphasized the word stain too much where it sounded negative or gross, But
I'm just gonna hunker down
Yeah.
by this pea stain on the carpet by the stairs.
I'm feeling a little excited. I'm going to stain the steps. Yeah, it's not what I was getting at. I guess what he's saying is just that it's the equivalent of a stain. They're leaving this residue of some sort, this mark.
Yeah.
The residue is even worse almost. God damn it.
Yeah,
I think you know what I mean, Mike.
If you're residue, you could be pee, you could be shit, you could be a spilled piece of cherry pie, for crying out loud.
Thank you for not saying
There's
anything.
residue.
I thought you were going to go back to
Dutch apple pie.
I thought you were going to go back to testicle
Chocolate
references.
eclair slipped from somebody's fingers walking up the stairs.
Do you have anything else? Are you just trying to run the timeout or what? I mean, we have
No.
Okay. Well, so overall, what do you think about that? I'm not saying his description was generic, but that's
Right.
His overall arc, his take on the difference between a spirit and a ghost.
There's not enough separation between what's being talked about. It is lumping a little bit too much, taking more than one thing and having it in the same parentheses.
Okay. All right. So you don't buy into it that much.
Not completely, no.
Okay. No, that's great. I'm on the same wavelength as you on that one as well. It's almost,
and I'm not saying it's totally wrong. I mean,
it's too simplified.
What do we go by? What we know as true knowledge, or what we think of and come up with theories. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what I said, but I was like, it's almost like it's too simplified.
Sure.
But hey, people like you and I need things to be simplified. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Before we take our first time traveling excursion here, the next question is, what are spirits doing on the other side when they are not watching us or communicating with us? How do they spend their days? Well, again, days don't exist, but
time doesn't exist. I mean, between times of where they go, to us, it could be 6 years, and to them, there's no definition of time between each thing that they do.
Yeah.
It's not like they're sitting back in a trance-like state, waiting to pop out on somebody that, from around the furnace in the basement or anything like that, or they don't sequester themselves in a velvet-lined casket.
Ooh, that sounds pretty exotic.
I was going to say satin, but I like velvet.
Velvet. Okay.
Like that feel, soft one way, furry the other. Oh, I love that.
Boy, Mike.
But anyway,
Mike's about ready to leave a stain somewhere.
Actually, I've never thought of velvet that way, but
okay,
sure
good.
Sounded good the way I was saying it. But you know what I mean.
Well, he goes on to answer. He says, it dawned on me during a workshop about a year ago, a workshop for mediums, I'm assuming, that says, if we truly are mediums, it's not enough just to say, your mother's here. It's not enough to keep everything in the past tense and say, she wore this and she did that. If a mother is truly still alive, or if a mother is truly alive and living somewhere, she must still be doing things. She must be watching things in our world and hanging out with people she once loved. I think these elements are very much what spirit wants to bring us, but the mind of the medium often excludes that level of detail because within our training, we're taught to say more things about them to bring proof to those in the living world. So that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not disparaging this guy at all. I mean, he could be a wonderful person. I have no idea who this Tony Stockwell is, but that's a nice thought. Nice thought.
Yeah, there has to be an existence. I mean, there could be instantaneous and nothing between, or no time between each event that a spirit or a ghost is seen or heard from or experienced, but there has to be some kind of an existence. Like if anybody has seen the movie What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams,
Sure.
I highly suggest that, because in the afterlife, there's some really interesting takes on that. Absolutely beautiful movie. Fantastic. Robin Williams.
It's kind of depressing, actually, but
there are parts that are, but
I hear you though. But the overall story is uplifting, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long time since I've seen that, so
yeah, it's a beautiful movie though.
Well, Mike, let's just take our time traveling excursion here. But you know what? As always, we need to be of clear mind every time we take our time traveling excursion. Hey, you know what, Mike? I am so glad that we discovered Magic Mind. Now, Mike, you and I were turned on to Magic Mind because we were looking for something that would perk us up in the morning in a good way, without the caffeine jitters. And I think we found a product that is not only right for us, but will be right for our faithful listeners out there.
Absolutely. A lot of natural ingredients, matcha green tea that has natural L-theanine, which reduces stress and anxiety, contains 130% more antioxidants of regular green tea. Now, I took this for 3 days in a row.
Yes, you did.
I started out with the one day, and I did feel some results, very subtle, very good. It was good for throughout the day. And now the second day I took it, I felt results a little bit more, like it was building up. And the third day, I could feel great effects, more energy, clear-headed. I could think better, and as you take this over a period of time, it builds up, and it's like a long-term cognitive energy and stress maintenance. It tastes very good. It's just a one shot and you're good for the day.
Filled with a lot of natural goodies in it. That's just going to brighten your day. It's going to increase your productivity. It's going to give you an energy boost. It's going to make you, as Mike said, feel a lot more clear-headed, that clarity of mind that just helps you feel more creative. And your day just flies by without those caffeine jitters. You want to have that energy boost in the morning, but you don't want to feel the anxious side effects. Magic Mind is the elixir drink for you. Go to www.magicmind.co/anomaly. Enter the discount code anomaly, all capital letters, anomaly 20, and you're well on your way to that clear-minded energy boost you have been waiting for. Again,
absolutely.
Go check out Magic Mind today. And we have returned after yet another successful time-traveling excursion. A time-traveling excursion brought to you by Magic Mind. No joke, Mike. We stand 100% behind Magic Mind, and we're excited to give our listeners a chance to check it out. So,
well worth it.
Do that, won't you? Shall you? But yeah, it's well worth it for sure. So, Mike, let's dive into it. Did you have your thinking cap on at all? Did you have your thinking cap on at all?
Yes, I had my thinking scally on.
Your thinking scally on. That's right. Yeah. That was actually a very long time traveling excursion. So
it was.
I apologize. That was my fault. My fault.
That's all right.
Mike's mad at me. I can tell he's mad at me.
It all works out absolutely fantabulously.
I'm frightened right now. I'm intimidated. Mike used to box, so I'm afraid he's going to
that was many, many, many years ago.
Punch me and stuff. It sounds really funny too, but I used to be a boxing nut as well, and I used to do it. I didn't ever do it professionally, but or amateur, or even as an amateur, but I enjoyed it. That's for sure. Maybe Mike, you and I need to duke it out in the afterlife sometime. So
no, it's just going to be that one simple slap.
That's true.
So
that is true. All right, Mike, the ghost agenda. Why in God's name are ghosts roaming this earth? Discuss. What is their agenda? Why do they remain? I'm just going to start throwing out all sorts of weird, wacky questions to you, Mike. And I know the answer would be different for each quote-unquote spirit, each quote-unquote ghost, whichever way you want to refer to them. Is there an overall meaning to it at all to you, Mike? Like, is there a lesson to be learned from, for us? Are we the students? Are ghosts here to teach us? Is that their agenda? What is the purpose for them to remain? again, each individual case is
It's-
different. But
yeah,
what do you think?
It's individualistic, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it something for us to learn from? The learning that we are all trying to do is just that, figure out what their agenda is. I mean, that's why there's so many ghost hunting groups, after the grandfather of ghost hunting shows has been on. I mean, can we even count how many ghost hunting teams there are? And each team, though, is there, for reasons of, trying to figure out the truth. They go back to places where they had their first experience to see what happened, what's the deal with that. There's that kind of a learning experience that we have. Is there a reason for a ghost to stay back because there's a hidden fortune in a wall in the house that,
Sure.
they don't want it just to stay there. So they're letting the right people know that there's a treasure in the wall or something like that. It's, it could an information thing, but that's just like the tip of the iceberg of what a possible agenda,
right. I mean,
or perspective could be.
It's all about, I mean, we're definitely leaning towards the individualistic, as you said, aspect of why a ghost remains, but again, is it the overall purpose? Are they, what's the phrase? Are they guiding us, Mike?
There's definitely guidance.
So
there's guidance and there's warnings. I mean, we'll look at the Ted Bundy case where two of his victims in that same night went to actually warn another potential victim to stay in a room. And
that's right. We did discuss that very briefly with Mr. Jericho. Can't wait for the episode to drop, by the way. We hope you all enjoy that. Yeah, it is alleged that the unfortunate victim, the spirit of one or two of the unfortunate victims actually warned other young women in, the Chi Omega house that there's a madman on the loose, and basically, was attempting to protect them. I mean, that's talk about a crazy, bizarre rumor, but who's to say it isn't real,
Yeah, it could be.
When we were the Alternate Route podcast, we had 2 episodes called The Alien Agenda. I don't know if you remember that, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
And we pondered, quite a bit of pondering on that one as well. We kind of focused on the alien interaction, the alien abduction phenomena, what exactly is their agenda. And that kind of came across as, from my recollection, it came across as kind of negative, at least portions of it, a good portion of it.
Probing of the buttocks.
Only 1 in 10 people enjoy it. It's, I would hope to believe, does that make sense? I tend to believe that a ghost agenda, if there is such a thing as an overall arc of an agenda from the paranormal, from that other side, the other side of the veil, that it would be positive, that it wouldn't be negative. Is that something that you feel as well, Mike? I mean, we can't sit there and deny or ignore the negative and the evil, quite frankly, because that exists and that's real. But maybe those are the outliers of the overall group. They're the ones who are like, get the hell out of here, Frank. He's the dick ghost. He's gonna go be a poltergeist somewhere.
Yeah.
Whereas we're gonna stay in our group of positivity here. We're gonna help people. We're gonna guide people. I mean, I'm being kind of silly, but maybe you just kind of get what I'm getting at there, Mike.
Yeah, I myself believe that ghost experiences are as a normal, and the majority are a positive thing. I mean, there's so many episodes of ghost hunting shows where people are getting scratched or bit or pushed down stairs or whatever. But I mean, could possibly be true, but adds drama to the show. But
possibly be true. I sense some disbelief in you there, Mike, when you see like the scratches on Zach's back every other episode.
Yeah. Whenever I see somebody that, I've got this burning in my back and they're like, and their hand is back there, like, like trying to, feel where they're getting this burning sensation. And so often, I mean, I've seen maybe one or two that I can recollect that, that look like there's no way that person could have reached that part of their back on their own to make the scratches themselves.
Okay.
But so often it's like, they could have done that themselves.
Well, sure.
Or, it's like they tell the cameraman, okay, during this certain part when we're walking through, just go up and scratch this person really hard on the back.
I know.
But I hate to be cynical or whatever about that, because I do believe that does happen.
Yeah, and we're not suggesting that's what's happening either. By the way,
exactly.
Exactly. But would we be surprised if that was happening? No. But it's out there. I mean, the possibility is out there.
Right.
But I again kind of get back to the idea of an agenda. I mean, does agenda almost sound like a negative word itself?
Oh, not necessarily. I mean, I think it can go either way. But look at the story of the car accident. This was on video that I remember seeing, and I'm sure you'll probably remember this, and a lot of the listeners will remember seeing this. There was a car that was partially submerged in this. I don't know if it was a river or pond or whatever, but people that were passing by, and it was out in the country, I believe, they heard a woman, yelling for help, staying there with the baby, because my baby's in here, yelling for help. And the paramedics got there. I think it was like haunted paramedics or whatever, ambulance calls that were like that. And they heard, I mean, you could even hear the woman's voice on the videotape. Help, my baby's in here. And, it took them some doing to get out there. They found the baby, saved the baby, but they had found that the woman had been dead for a while.
Yes.
But staying there with the baby after her body has died, but her agenda for that moment was to save her baby, stay there, make sure that somebody came and that somebody heard her yelling for help. That was her spirit or her ghost or whatever you want to call it.
That is a fantastic story. We mentioned that before on past episodes, a while ago, probably as the Alternate Route podcast. Yeah. And, there's the police officer himself, he's on record as saying that he heard this stuff. The people involved in the rescue, as you said, Mike, they heard this voice, but they couldn't have come from this woman because she had. And
you could hear it on the video. You could hear the woman's voice.
That is just bizarre. I mean, it's moving almost.
Very.
So again, that definitely leans towards the individualistic agenda of from the after.
Very specific reason
from the afterlife. Yeah. Okay, kind of staying on that track a little bit. I mean, as long-time listeners know, Mike, ding, ding, ding. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You've led a very paranormal life. You've had very, very unique and I guess all of them are unique in themselves.
Right.
That being said, all of your experiences have been unique in themselves. Do you think that do you think that all of your experiences are connected, Mike? Do you think that there is something that is sustaining these? Are they continuously something larger is sending you all of these signs? Or do you think that they all simply have been individual bizarre experiences?
I think that they're individual for the most part, because each experience that I've had are very very individual events, like the girl that I saw. It's the only girl that like that I'd ever seen. The fully detailed young girl. When I lived in another place, and there was like the water would turn on by itself. Like when I was taking a shower after work, nobody else was home. I turn the water off, open up the shower door, and the sink faucet in the bathroom is going full blast.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's home to turn that on. I mean, that's the only time I had experienced something like that. This house with the cat, that's very individualistic. What we've gotten on any type of a possible EVT,
an EVT, yeah, sure.
EVP,
EVT, phone home, EVT. Phone home.
Yeah. Very individualistic things. I think the only connection that they have for me personally is that I may be open enough to have experienced all of those things. I don't know. You know what I mean? You get
No, I get you. I understand. So you don't believe that these are connected in any way. I mean,
I don't think so, because like the house where I grew up in, where that girl was. I mean, that was a totally separate thing from the house I lived in Park Rapids, where so many things had happened.
Yeah.
But that was like a full blown haunting. I mean, that wasn't just an individual sighting. I mean,
yeah,
because we all experienced that.
Well, that's where where it's Debbie EVP,
right,
occurred.
So
that's where the history of that house is tragic.
Yeah.
Well, particularly the It's Debbie story.
I think that house was a overlapping history of things that were happening.
Now, was that one? I mean, not to get off track here, but was that was that house there also where you and your then wife saw that black mist, or like that shape
come out of the ceiling?
Yep, that was the same place. Okay.
Yeah, and it was. Well, I didn't see it, but it was because it was right above my head, and it was like the shadow of an arm that came out.
Yeah.
And then it went back up.
Yeah, and you had those very strong smells and stuff.
Oh yeah. Like a very old lady with like wearing like lemon verbena or something just walked past,
Yeah. It wasn't a ripe Mike, by the way. It was they were smelling.
It was a ripe old lady. Yeah.
Yeah. So you definitely would not think that there is an overall agenda of something, some higher power that is trying to reach out to you throughout your life to try and teach you something. You just think that it's just a bunch of, what the hell is that face for? What are you?
I'm just thinking, yeah, that was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. That face frightened me.
Yeah.
I wish,
I don't think there's any connection to each event. Okay. Except for that, a lot of them were like a personal event, that I experienced.
Now, when I wrote down a couple of my notes, as I mentioned earlier, I wrote down intimidator and also messenger. Now, what would let's talk about because it's the word of the day, the agenda of a spiritual messenger, the agenda of a spiritual intimidator. Why would a ghost, in your opinion, Mike, why would a spirit, whatever you want to call them, feel the need to intimidate, feel the need to frighten? What pops into your mind first and foremost when I ask you that question?
The first thing I think of is stories that you've read or heard about or seen on these shows where there's a spirit in a house, fully intelligent ghost that is going to intimidate you because they don't want you there. It's like, getting rid of you by intimidation. With Zach, the brick or the board flying through the air that made him run through that basement like a little girl screaming. But I think that's intimidation.
Do you think if there's if the agenda of one particular ghost/spirit is to intimidate and to frighten someone to leave the premises. If said person does leave said premises, does that ghost all of a sudden not become intimidating anymore? Is it just like a nice little, lighthearted, happy-go-lucky little spirit? Oh, I did my job. Now I'm just going to sit here and,
It could be wandering the halls of that house, just angry and pissed.
Okay,
until the next person
there
comes
you go.
along. And,
there you go.
you
You mentioned anger and sadness and emotion and and loneliness. I mean, all of that stuff. To me, when I hear negative stuff like that, I think of unfortunate attachment. Like they can't move on.
Oh, sure.
They would like to. Maybe that adds to their anger. Maybe they want to move on, but they can't. So the negative part, I understand as to why they'd be there. But as far as intimidating and conjuring up fear, that to me is pure agenda. That's a plan. That's something that they are attempting to do. That is their one pure motivating factor. And I can't really wrap my mind around, the basis of that.
Yeah.
The reasoning behind that. What? Talk about unhappy. I mean, if you're sitting there continuously
unhappy
doing
enough to unhappy and angry and intimidating all in one package because they don't they want to be left alone or it's somebody that doesn't know that they're dead and they're still feel that they're living in that house and that's their house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like somebody walks into your house now, you're going to get pissed off.
Yeah.
I think that happens in many cases with things like that. Get out of my house. This is my house.
Yeah. You feel like,
why are you here?
Your privacy has been, absolutely ripped away. You get that. I get that. I get that. Again, you have to try and put the ghost perspective, air quotes, is essentially the same as our perspective in a lot of ways.
Sure. And you talk about the emotion, like the sadness or the anger. I mean, you get a psychic medium that's there going through this house or even somebody that's not known to be psychic or just sensitive can go into a room or go into a house and start getting emotional, like feeling like they're going to cry, because they're picking up on that emotion. And those are emotions from actual ghosts, spirits, emotions, ghosts, emotions, the energy that's in the room, and people can pick up on that and feel it. That emotion is so strong, and that's from, spirits or ghosts. I mean,
so Mike, would you're again, and we're beating a dead I can't speak. We're beating a dead joke into the ground here, but when you pass over, Mike, your agenda is going to be to come back and punch me in the face.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, slap. I won't go so far as to punch you.
Well,
I plan on leaving a handprint at least.
Mark, just stay away from my buttocks. Just
yeah.
Well, and the other part, just anywhere else. Just give me a good slap.
Bloody scratch marks down your skinny rib caged back.
My skinny rib cage back. That sounds good. I like that one. I want to go back to, very briefly, another one of these articles I wanted to share. I love these titles, Mike, or these headlines. Well, let's just click on this one. The listeners are going, what the hell are you talking about, Patrick? Well, I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
This is an article from discovermagazine.com. I just feel like getting under Mike's skin right now for a second.
I'm sure.
The title of the article is Why Your Brain Wants to Believe in Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the subheadline is Belief in God may be declining, but ghosts and paranormal stories are alive and well. Here's why humans tend to believe in them. So, ready for some condescending...
it's what I'm expecting.
We're smarter than everyone else. We're smartest guy in the room. type stuff. Okay. God, ghosts, or science? Question mark. As I said, belief in Orthodox religions is on the decline, but beliefs in the supernatural are as popular as ever. More than 4 out of 10. So is that 5 out of 10? More than 4 out of 10. So what?
It's science.
Yeah, 4.6. Let's go with 4.7. 4.7 out of 10 Americans believe that ghosts or demons exist. And over a third say they have felt the presence of a ghost or spirit. Such beliefs are equally popular in Britain, and that's where I think this article is based. I think that's I think this is a Britain-based site, but I could be wrong. While many scoff at tales of the supernatural, academia has not fully dismissed them. It actually goes on and lists a couple of psychologists, Christopher French. He's heading up the Anomalistic Psychology Research Unit at London's Goldsmiths University. Interesting. Okay. But he also does believe, he does believe that paranormal experiences are often wrongly misinterpreted as paranormal due to the tendencies bred into us through thousands of years of evolution to help keep us alive. That's right. I remember reading this now. Long story short, he's basically saying that we believe in the paranormal as a survival tactic. Now, bear with me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Goes down to what is labeled as reactionary versus rational brain. This is a theory that says that we have 2 ways of thinking. The reactionary thought process, which is sometimes flawed, and a more accurate but slower process, the rational brain, the rational thought process. And though we see ourselves as rational, the reactionary process is actually far outdoes the rational process. So this is the example, very briefly, Mike. He says, consider a Stone Age man hearing a rustling in the bushes. This Stone Age man can either immediately assume that it's a threat, some kind of predator, and get the hell out of there to survive another day. Or he can rely on the system 2, the slower, reliant on evidence kind of approach, and he may end up as lunch. That way of thinking would have helped humans escape potential predators, but it also means events can be misinterpreted. So you get where I'm going there? Where
I don't know.
your face is red. Your face is red. Tangled up in this tendency, cognitive biases. Like I'm not going to read anymore because that goes on to pareidolia. You know what pareidolia is? We see faces in clouds and all that crap. And so they basically say, well, since we see faces in clouds, then every ghost we see is actually something else. That's basically what this article is saying.
Which that does happen.
It does happen, of course.
Yeah, I see that where people show pictures on the internet and it's like, can you see the 10 ghosts in this photograph? And it's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what they're basically, but again, I hope you kind of got what I was getting at there.
Right.
It's a survival tactic. It's we believe it's something other than it is because that causes us to turn into that fight or flight type stuff instead of actually risking our lives by being rational and going up to that bush and studying that bush and saying, oh, it's actually just this which is causing it. It's not some mysterious, crazy, wild beast.
Right.
So therefore that explains all ghosts. You buy it?
I don't. Was this written by Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Maybe. What? Yeah, paid for by the amazing.
Forward by the amazing Randy.
I was just going to say the same thing. God damn it. God damn it, Mike. We're already down to. We're running out of time. Mike, we need to.
Holy crap! Yes.
Yeah, we need to finish this. Wrap this up on a high note. I hope to God this has been interesting for you, Mike. I'm looking at my notes. I don't like it when Mike goes silent. He chews his teeth chews his nails and yawns.
Actually, I'm not. I don't know.
Well, I guess we are doing pretty well at rambling a lot tonight, so that's good. Do you think that the agenda is to teach us, Mike? Teach us, guide us, or is it to you purely individualistic? There is not an overall spiritual agenda, spiritual or paranormal agenda that all of these individual ghosts are aligning with. Everything
individual agendas. How about if we put it that way? Because there's a little bit of all of this wrapped up together. I mean, there's agendas. There's residual things that have no possible way of having an agenda. There's the different, just everything that was on that list that we put together. There's a little bit of that everywhere. I mean, on an individual basis. I mean, you know what I mean? There's these things every one of them is possible.
I get it. One that I forgot to mention was seeking attention. So, I mean,
sure.
Again, that's another very common human trait, but that would also be individualistic. It would be, this ghost just doesn't want to be left alone. This ghost needs to be noticed. It's,
maybe they need energy. They know that they need energy from us to exist. So there's the needy ghost as well.
So they're there in their ghostly state, but they also realize they're conscious enough to realize that they need to absorb our energy in order to manifest in any sort of way to let us know that they are there. Huh.
Sure.
Okay.
Part of the deal.
I like that. I like that idea. That's part of the deal, as Mike says.
Yeah, I don't. There's just so much that I don't think we can come down to just one specific outlook on this, because it just all goes together.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that one. Yeah, it's too broad, I think.
Yeah.
Especially for our feeble little minds to tackle.
There could be psychotic ghosts that don't know what the hell they're doing or what they want. They just do it.
Yeah, they're psychotic humans, so why not?
Exactly.
Why not? That's terrifying. That's a terrifying
It is
thought.
terrifying.
I mean, maybe
that could be a lot of the blame for demonic entities or things that happen. Maybe they suck up enough energy and they're in their psychosis. They make blood drip from the walls or something,
Oh. Well, the first thing that popped in my brain when you said psychotic was poltergeist activity. I mean,
oh sure, yeah, absolutely.
Why not? I'm just going to sit here. I'm nutso cuckoo. I'm going to start throwing things around the house.
Exactly. Yeah, I've known human beings that are exactly like that. So
that's sad. Yeah.
Why can't there be ghosts that carry that on in the afterlife and mess with people with it?
No, that's definitely something to ponder. Man, I hate to say it, but this might definitely be a part 2 to this one as well, or a continuation
of part 3, actually.
Part 3, yeah, because this is part 2 of Ghost Perspective. Or I thought it'd be interesting to see how it goes, at least to see how it goes.
Yeah.
To make this kind of a series, every couple months to go back to the Ghost Perspective idea. I think this went pretty well. It was a good discussion. I sounded kind of stupid every now and then, but hey, what else is new?
Well,
yeah. Hey, Mike, before I forget, I want to play something for you real quick. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me what this is. Gotta open up your ears. Open up your ears. You have to tell me what this is. Okay. Here we go. All right. I'm talking one. Okay. Now,
that was a sound check that we did earlier.
we mentioned
we've got to put together a gag reel bloopers, and there's already a few things in there.
This was so great, though. It was okay. One more time, in case you didn't hear it, listen closely, everybody. This is, you hear me right away, and it almost sounds like talk about a ghost with an agenda in the background there, trying to get my attention, but. I labeled this burpee, by the way. So here we go. All right, I'm talking one. I love it.
Let us know what you think that is.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to tell you what it is.
What is it?
It's a pissed off badger.
Oh, it is a pissed off badger. God darn it. Okay, was that a badger? All right, I'm talking one. Wow, damn. That's a very.
It also sounds like the low guttural growl of a gorilla.
I was going to say, that's a gigantic
Somebody
badger.
took a stick of bamboo away from him.
Oh, man.
It's a rabid koala that has not
that's
had
what it
enough eucalyptus for the day.
Ooh, yeah, you want to stay away from those rabid koalas, by the way. But man alive, I'm not sure if this is a koala. All right, I'm talking one. I'm sorry. I'm going to play that 1,000 times until people get sick of it. But that's okay.
Played it a few times before we started recording, and we laughed each time.
Oh man. Well, thanks, Mike, for joining me. We got a late start. The connection problems made us go even later than we wanted to, and I apologize. Send my apologies to Mary because I'm sure she's ready.
Good.
She's probably frustrated with me as well. So
we both shut down our computers and restarted them, and it's been just smooth sailing since then.
Knock on wood, it has been. Yeah, I told the kids that they had to shut off half of their Wi-Fi devices.
I was starting to think we were going to have to do this on like Sunday afternoon or something.
I know, no kidding. That was fine though. I didn't mind that.
Hey, if that ever needs to be done, I'm good for that.
Well, Mike, again, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Enjoyed our rambling. It was rambling. It was here and there, up and down, and all around. I think we hit some fairly decent points here and there.
One of these episodes, I'm going to just be asking you questions.
And I would love that. Why don't we do that? How about the next time we do that, okay?
We'll work on that.
Yeah. You got to think of questions though, Mike, or you just
right.
Do you think you'll be able to come up with them off the cuff? I mean,
it's possible. Yeah,
it's possible.
I'm not as intellectually derived as you are, but
intellectually derived.
I could do what I can.
Do you think Mike can do it, Igor?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for tuning in. We appreciate each and every one of you. We'd love to see it every day. We'd love to see you try out the Patreon page. Trust me, it'd be more than worth it for you. It's a passion of ours, and it's
and maybe if enough people do start following, then Patrick will stop begging so much.
Yeah. Do I sound like I'm begging?
No, you don't.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, Mike, until next time, buddy, thanks again. What do our awesome paranormal pals need to do?
Peace out, baby.